Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we're going to take a look at the Joe Rocket Vintage Rocket Jacket available at RevZilla.com. So with the Vintage Rocket Jacket, think 2-3 season cool weather. There is going to be a full sleeve thermal liner in here, but it's not a really beefy thermal liner. So depending on where you live in the country, this is going to be your spring, your fall option, and you can beef it up underneath with some extra mid or base layers to get yourself into the colder months of the year. But especially in the warmer climates, there's no venting on this jacket, so just keep this in mind. It's probably not the one you want to go to for the hottest months of the year. Now with Joe Rocket, traditionally what we're seeing is a larger cut with more of an American style body and build to this, and the Vintage Rocket Jacket is really no exception with that. Brian on my left-hand side is going to stand at 6 foot, weighing in 195 pounds, and has a 42-inch chest. And as you can see, it's not a really articulated race cut to it. There's definitely a little bit more room in the chest and in the midsection on this. So just keep that in mind. This is going to work for riders that are going to be a little bit more generously cut. And with this, as long as you're using the size chart, you should have no surprises there. Now sizes will range from a small up to a 3XL. If you're looking at the 2 to a 3XL, that takes you from around the $300 price point up to around the $315 price point. So there's a little bit of a price bump for the larger 2 sizes. Now, as far as colors are concerned, we have 2 different colors available. There is the full black version, which Brian is wearing on my left-hand side, and there is also going to be a black and a white, and all that does is it adds white racing stripes down the side. And Brian, just hold your hand out forward for me for a second. Even though this is the full black version, the one thing I want to point out is you have this accent stitching done in almost a copper, which works its way down both arms. And it's done very nicely. It just offsets the jacket a little bit. Thank you, my friend. So taking a look at this, what you're really getting is more of a vintage-inspired plain leather jacket. You're looking at a few zip pockets, no vents, very classic inspired from Joe Rocket, again around that $300, $315 price point. Now, if you want to bump up to something a little bit sportier, maybe some sliders on the side, a little bit more aggressive, you'd be taking a look at the Sonic 2.0 jacket. But really, with this jacket, it is simply a leather jacket. We're not even getting any armor baked into this. You can add armor later, but this is really for you riders out there that just want a plain leather jacket. So let's go ahead and we'll break that down. So the main body is a 1 to 1.2 drum-dyed cowhide. So 1 to 1.2 millimeters. And like I said earlier, you do have no armor in the pockets, rolled neoprene at the collar, so it is a comfortable piece. A little bit of stitching at the shoulders with that accent quilting, again done in that copper threading. But with the shoulders on this, with the elbows, there will be internal pockets. So if you want to add the armor, Joe Rocket has proprietary armor that will fit with the jacket. Right now you've got abrasion resistance protection with the leather. But if you want that impact protection as well, you'd have to add that separately. As we work our way down the arms, slight pre-curve to the sleeve. You can see even as Brian's standing here, there's just a slight pre-curve with the sleeve. So if you're in more of a cafe style position, it'll work for you, as well as if you're more of an upright position. So it's not an aggressive pre-curve that's going to hold you to any specific shape. Brian, go ahead and just hold the hand up for me. You will see along with the accent stitching, you do have the Rocket logo, which is going to be sewn in. And then the cuffs are going to be bound with a leather cuff to that. And like I said earlier in the beginning, that 2 season, maybe possibly 3 season cool weather functionality. You do have that thermal liner which pushes down, and again, it's a very lightweight thermal liner, but you can see it at the cuff here if we unzip the cuff. Brian, you go ahead and put the hand down. Working our way down through the chest, you have a single snap at the top, and then you are going to have a magnetic flap at the bottom. So the flap on the bottom is simply going to be a magnet which holds it very secure into place, just an embossed R for the Rocket logo, and you do have that same embossed R up at the top for that snap. Dual chest pockets on the other side. At first I thought these were going to be chest vents. They are simply chest pockets, YKK zips, and then you have got hand warmer pockets down either side as well, again with YKK zips and leather accent pulls with just a rivet snap in there, giving you just a little bit of an accent to it, but very easy to actuate the pockets if you do have a pair of gloves on. Brian, you go ahead and face sideways for me, throw the hand in the rider position. So again, slight pre-curve to the sleeve, no adjustments down the body. That's really what I just want to show you. It would have been nice just to have maybe an adjuster at the waist to kind of fine tune either Velcro or snap or something there, but that's the only real nitpick I have from a side standpoint. And Brian, you can go ahead and face backwards for me. Clean lines, minimal branding, and traditionally in the past we've seen Joe Rocket have a little bit more branding, and they've kind of muted it down for this particular piece. You have the Rocket just kind of sewn in at the very top, And then no lines throughout. There's no belt loops, there's no zipper points, it's simply a plain leather jacket, and there's no pad in the back of this as well. There will be a pocket. It will accept the Knox style TP2 back protector. So both Force Field as well as Revit will make a back protector that'll fit in there. So if you're adding that armor kit for the shoulders and the elbows, don't go with the Joe Rocket back pad. It's just a back pad, it's not a back protector. Really what you want to do is you want to step it up and put some type of a CE level back protector in this jacket. And again, that Knox TP2 style will fit right in for you. Brian, you may go ahead and face forward and unsnap, unzip, and just pop that little magnet as you work down the bottom. Now, as you work your way down, there is going to be that storm guard sitting right behind the zipper just to help with a little bit of the airflow pushing through. And then if we pull this open, you will notice it is going to be that full sleeve thermal liner. It is a zip out liner. You have a pocket on the inside, and then you are going to have just that, it's going to be almost like a soft silk on the inside. So it is going to be extremely comfortable against your skin. If you are wearing this with just a t-shirt the way that Brian is and you pull that liner out, very comfortable silky material on the inside of the jacket. Brian, you may go ahead and zip up. So for riders out there that are looking for just a plain leather jacket, the Vintage Rocket is definitely one to consider from the Joe Rocket brand. It's going to be very minimalistic in its style, but there are a lot of riders out there that really that's all they're looking for when they're looking at a leather jacket. They don't want to feel like they're going out to race their sport bike. They want something that's a little bit more muted in tone, and that's what this is going to give you. Now, there are a lot of riders out there utilizing Joe Rocket products, and if you want to hear more about what they have to say, click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already putting the Vintage Rocket through its paces. If you have more questions for one of our gear geeks, give them a shout at 877-792-9455, or simply shoot us an email, cs@RevZilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the Joe Rocket Vintage Rocket Jacket. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.